Fund for victims of Osun pre-election violence.
Your government declares Thursday public holiday to mark Isheshe Day.
9 killed in India hotel fire.
Now the news in detail. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration has finally unveiled a breakdown of the 15.8 trillion naira in savings from fuel subsidy removal and gain of other reforms over the last 3 years. The Minister of Finance, Oluyole, disclosed this at a press conference today, giving a detailed breakdown of the administration's subsidy removal reforms. According to Oluyole, the reforms resulted in 15.8 trillion naira in savings that accrued to the Federation accounts. He noticed that the savings from fuel subsidy removal were shared among the federal government, state and local government. According to him, the federal government received 5.43 trillion naira, while the state received 6.52 trillion naira and local government received 3.88 trillion naira from the fuel subsidy removal savings. As a result, the federal government had approximately 20.4 trillion naira in incremental resources during the period under review. However, he noticed that additional expenditure incurred by the government during the same period amounted to approximately 30.64 trillion naira.
President Bola Tinubu has charged Nigerian universities to produce graduates equipped to become value creators, innovators, entrepreneurs, professionals, researchers, and responsible citizens. Tinubu said the rapid changes in the world of work require universities to adapt their curricula and strengthen their links with industry. The president spoke in Ilorin, Kwara State at the 37th Annual General Assembly of the Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities, themed Building Resilient Universities for Nigeria, represented by the Minister of State for Education, Professor Shuaiba Ahmed. Tinubu said employers increasingly value problem-solving skills, communication, teamwork, digital competence, creativity, entrepreneurship and adaptability alongside academic qualifications. Tinubu said universities must prepare students for an increasingly technology-driven world shaped by artificial intelligence, digital learning platforms, virtual laboratories, automation, biotechnology, renewable energy, advanced manufacturing and data science. He said the focus should go beyond producing graduates to determine whether universities were equipping them to contribute meaningfully to Nigeria's economic and social development.
Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has announced the establishment of a 500 million naira endowment fund for victims of pre-election violence in the state. Adeleke announced today while receiving his certificate of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission following his re-election. According to the governor's special assistant on digital media, Oluyole Badmus, the fund was established by the Osun State government in honor of victims of the violence recorded before the governorship election.
As concerns over food security continue to dominate national discourse, a professor of animal science, Soji Adejumo, has called for a major increase in domestic food production before emphasis is placed on agricultural value addition. He also wants government to provide stronger incentives to attract young Nigerians into farming. Our man, Adebayo Abdurrafe, reports.
Professor Soji Adejumo believes Nigeria's agricultural transformation must begin with food sufficiency, while acknowledging the value of agribusiness and value addition. He says increasing domestic food production should remain the immediate priority. According to him, value-added agricultural production cannot be sustained if the country is unable to produce enough food for its own population. He therefore advocates a significant increase in domestic food production before moving further into large-scale processing and industrial value addition.
We have reached a level where ranching should be a first-line principle. And that ranching is not by forcing a state to create land for one full animal to bring cows to. No, it's for us, for those who want to go into cattle ranching, for government to be able to provide them access to the land, not encroaching on farmlands for crops. And there you'll be able to raise your stock, grow them, sell them, not drive them all over the place.
The professor of animal physiology also identified the high cost and risk associated with farming as major barriers, discouraging young Nigerians from entering agriculture. He called for government intervention through access to tractors, farm implements, land, technical support, and other incentives.
Agriculture is hard. Hard in the sense that it's not easy for somebody without a passion for agri to go into it. You can take something today, buy it for 10 naira and sell it tomorrow for 12 naira, 2 naira profit. You can't do that with agriculture. Agriculture is an investment and it's an investment certainties. So government again has to come to the aid of those who genuinely want to go into farming and start by providing aids.
Professor Adejumo further proposed that local governments with available agricultural land should establish registers for young people interested in farming. He said such a database could help government identify genuine prospective farmers, match them with available land, and provide the equipment, training, and technical assistance required for successful agricultural ventures.
Let every local government do a register. The tractorization, you will get it. The implements, you will get it. We will monitor this and that for you. We will supply you also with technical advice. We will do the screening for you. Out of the 1,000 that have applied, maybe 100 people will scale through. I will support you. That is the only way. When those 100 people succeed, the next batch of people will be more encouraged.
He also advocated the revival of agricultural machinery production and tractor assembly, arguing that locally available and affordable equipment will reduce the financial burden on farmers. For Professor Adejumo, making agriculture attractive to young Nigerians requires more than encouraging them to farm. Government must create the conditions that make farming economically viable and sustainable. Adebayo Abdurrafi, BCOS News.
Multivitamins are commonly used to supplement the body's nutritional needs, especially when individuals may not be getting enough essential nutrients from their daily diet. But what exactly are multivitamins? What roles do they play in the body? And who may benefit from their use? In this report, Oluyole examines the importance of multivitamins and the roles in supporting healthy body functions.
Multivitamins are dietary supplements containing a combination of vitamins and, in some cases, minerals that are essential for normal growth, development, and health body functions. For many people, they provide a convenient way of supplementing their nutrient intake, particularly when their regular diet may not provide adequate amount of certain essential nutrients. According to public health physician Dr. Oluyole Omotajo, vitamins perform several important functions in the body, including supporting blood formation, bone development, immunity, energy metabolism, and proper brain function. It says multivitamin supplementation may be beneficial where nutritional requirements are increased or where a deficiency has been identified.
They do help in blood formation. Like when you take iron supplements that we do recommend to patients, take iron supplements. That's also part and parcel of what we call multivitamins. We have vitamin D. We have vitamin D is very important in bone formation. We have vitamin C. All these things, they help us in fighting infection. That is what we call neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters, they help in brain function. So once you have enough of vitamin B complex, you are very likely to be sound up there.
Dr. Omotajo, however, cautioned that multivitamins should not be regarded as a substitute for a balanced diet, noting that essential vitamins and minerals are best obtained from a variety of nutritious food, including fruits and vegetables.
Our diets are shifting to what we call processed food. You want to be fried food left, right, and center. They create things that go into our bodies, create what we call oxidative stress. And multivite, they have antioxidants. So they mop up all those free radicals that can damage our cells. The older you grow, please don't play with multivitamins. Don't play, particularly adults. Elderly, they do have challenge with appetite, where we don't have opportunity to be taking fruit and vegetables. Let's make multivitamins part and parcel of our daily routine.
With the increasing consumption of processed and convenience foods, experts stress the need for adequate nutrient intake as part of healthy lifestyle. They also advise that the use of multivitamins should be guided by individual nutritional needs or professional advice, particularly where supplementation is being considered for specific deficiency or health conditions. Oyeshile Oluyole, BCOS News.
The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, NIHSA, has warned of a high risk of riverine flooding across Kaduna, Niger, Delta, and 29 other states, including all southwest states, within the next 7 days. The agency said the flood risk forecast covers the period from August 19 to 25, 2026, and urged communities located on floodplains to immediately relocate to higher ground. The Director General and Chief Executive Officer of NIHSA, Ak Umar Mohammed, disclosed this in a statement today. According to him, rising river levels are expected to trigger flooding in several parts of the country during the period. He said the validity of the flood is from August 19 to 25, 2026.
The United Nations Children Fund has called on Borno State and federal government intensify efforts to secure the release of 78 school children abducted in Mosa and Lassa communities in Askira, Uba local government area of the state. UNICEF Nigeria Deputy Representative Dr. Runak Khan made the call today while responding to questions during a media briefing with the United Nations Humanitarian Coordinator and other heads of agencies in commemoration of the 2026 World Humanitarian Day in Maiduguri. Khan said UNICEF was concerned about the spate of child abduction in Borno and Nigeria, urging authorities to ensure the safe return of all abducted children in their families. She said UNICEF had been working with the Borno state government to ensure that safe school protocols were implemented. She, however, assured that UNICEF would support the government with psychosocial assistance and other services when the children were released.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has declared Thursday, August 20, a work-free day in commemoration of Isheshe Day, a day dedicated by the state government to celebrating the rich cultural and traditional heritage of the Yoruba people. This was contained in a memo signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Musiba Babatunde. According to the memo, the governor extended his felicitations to adherents of African traditional religion across Oyo State, Nigeria, and beyond, wishing them a successful and spiritually enriching celebration. Governor Makinde reaffirmed his administration's commitment to fairness across all religion, expressing gratitude to traditional worshippers for their support of his government over the past 7 years. The memo noted that the work-free day will enable workers and residents to fully participate in the celebration of the state's cultural heritage and pray for the peace, unity, and stability of the state in particular and the country in general. Recall that Governor Makinde introduced the Isheshe Day celebration as part of his administration's visionary effort to honor adherents of traditional religion and to harness cultural tourism as a driver of economic growth, emphasizing that cultural tourism remains one of Oyo State's greatest strengths.
On the foreign scene, at least 9 people have been killed after a fire broke out at a hotel in Kolkata, India, with 5 of the victims identified as Bangladesh nationals receiving medical treatment in the city. The blaze, reportedly caused by an exploding air conditioner, has again raised concern over fire safety standards in the country. Foreign Desk Editor Folashade Akintola compiled the story and others as presented by Khadija Lawal.
A fire ripped through a hotel in the Indian city of Kolkata today, killing 9 people, including 5 Bangladeshi nationals who were seeking medical care, officials said. Building fires are common in India due to a lack of firefighting equipment and routine disregard for safety regulations. The Kolkata blaze came only 2 days after 8 people were killed in another hotel fire in West Bengal's holy town of Tarapit, where Hindu devotees had gathered for the sacred month of Shravan. Sharma said preliminary information suggested an air conditioner at the Budget Shikha Inn Hotel in Kolkata, the West Bengal capital, may have exploded and caused the blaze. Bangladesh's Deputy High Commissioner in Kolkata said Indian authorities told them that the 5 of those killed were Bangladeshi nationals. Santosh Pathak, a member of the West Bengal's ruling party, said the Bangladeshi nationals had traveled to Kolkata for medical treatment. Kolkata accounts for more than half of those medical travelers because of its proximity to the Bangladesh capital Dhaka, according to official figures. Meanwhile, a severe weather event has affected northern Chile, causing widespread disruption to daily life. Heavy rainfall has led to flash floods and mudslides, resulting in the evacuation of residents from affected areas. According to reports, cars were swept downhill as flood waters and debris accumulated on roads. Emergency responders have been deployed to assist those in need, clearing streets and providing aid to affected communities. The Chilean government has declared a state of catastrophe in Tocopilla province, where the heavy rain is expected to continue. Residents described the situation as terrifying and expressed concern for their safety. The floods have caused significant disruptions to daily life, with many roads rendered impassable due to the accumulation of debris and flood waters. Emergency services are working to clear streets and restore access to affected areas. As the weather continues to pose a threat, residents are being advised to remain indoors and follow evacuation orders. And lastly, the United States and Canada have reached a last-minute deal to delay steep tariffs on billions of dollars of Canadian goods, granting a temporary reprieve to exporters fearful of a renewed trade war between the trade partners. U.S. President Donald Trump made the announcement shortly before the 50% duty was due to take effect at midnight. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney confirmed shortly afterwards that the US had agreed to suspend the tariffs until August 22. The 11th hour breakthrough came after Trump and Carney held talks on Tuesday aimed at finding common ground after a week of fraught trade negotiations. The tariffs would have applied to some $20.2 billion worth of Canadian exports, affecting goods ranging from electronics and industrial machinery to furniture, dairy products and wine. In a post on Truth Social on Tuesday, Trump said he agreed to a 3-day pause in the tariffs after the sides reached a deal subject to finalization of documents. Neither Trump nor Carney provided details of the agreement, but the U.S. president appeared to link the breakthrough to his efforts to revive the Keystone XL pipeline. Khadija Lawal, BCS News.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration has finally unveiled a breakdown of the 15.8 trillion naira in savings from fuel.
State Governor Ademola Adeleke has announced the establishment of a 500 million naira endowment fund for victims of pre-election violence in the state.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has declared Thursday, August 20, a work-free day in commemoration of Isheshe Day, a day dedicated by the state government to celebrating the rich cultural and traditional heritage of the Yoruba people.
On the foreign scene, at least 9 people have been killed after a fire broke out at a hotel in Kolkata, India, with 5 of the victims identified as Bangladesh's national receiving medical treatment in the city.
If you see something suspicious, alert the authorities immediately for timely response. Be vigilant. That's all from Newscope Desk for now. It was packaged by Helen Fagbemi and delivered by
Oluwagbemiga Olabisi
and Ifeoluwa Olaoye. Thanks for listening, and do not forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8 p.m. Good evening.
Yes. prosperity. Ẹ̀yin tí wà ní BCOS ṣe ti gbọ́ pé BCOS ti wà lórí Naija TV app. Ṣé ti rí pé nóbi lè pè dàbí reality? Kọ̀nfàmù ni ẹ ṣá máa wà kárí ayé o. BCOS to the world, BCOS ilé akéde. Ẹ̀yin tí wà lóníyọ̀dé FM. Ṣé ti gbọ́ pé a ti wà lórí Radio Box? Ẹ lọ síbẹ̀ kẹ́ máa gbọ́ wa kedere. Ó kilẹ̀ létí, ó milẹ̀ létí. Olúyọ̀lé FM 98.5. Olúyọ̀lé lórí Radio Box app. Ẹ̀yin tí wà ní BCOS ṣe ti gbọ́ pé BCOS ti wà lórí Naija TV app. Ṣé ti rí pé nóbi lè pè náà ní reality? Kọ̀nfàmù ni ẹ ṣá máa wò wá kárí ayé o. BCOS to the world, BCOS ilé akéde. BCOS ti wà lórí Naija TV app. Lórí àtẹ ìkànnì ayélujára Naija TV, ẹ̀ka tó ń pawó wọlé commercial department ti BCOS ilé akéde ló ní ká sọ fún gbogbo wa pé láti túbọ̀ máa jẹ̀gbádùn àwọn ètò ọlọ́kanjọ̀kan wa lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ, ìwọ sá ti lọ sórí Google Play Store tàbí lórí Apple Store. Kó o download Naija TV app NAIJA kó o wá fi space kan sílẹ̀ kó o tẹ TV ló bá tán. Bákan náà lórí ìkànnì Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 FM ẹ lè máa gbọ́ wa ketekete lórí Radio Box app. Kò le rárá láti lò lórí Play Store rẹ tàbí lórí Apple Store. Ìwọ sá ti tẹ Radio Box kó o sì dáńlódù Radio Box app sórí fóònù rẹ ló bá tán. Kó o bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jẹ̀gbádùn àwọn ètò wa ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan lórí Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 FM. Kó o sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jẹ̀gbádùn ayé díjítà nípa wíwo BCOS ilé akéde lórí Naija TV níbikíbi tó o bá wà lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára kárí ayé.
Oluyole